Good time zone, everyone. For those of you that are checking me out, Cammy, how you doing? For those of you that check me out on YouTube and Trovo, I want to go ahead and give you all just a brief little recap of what we went over. So you can all check it out on my YouTube channel where I pretty much go over one of the toxic traits of Virgos. We went over how they could be so guarded. Now, I'm just going to simplify by stating that if Virgos allow themselves to be humiliated more and not take it so seriously and use it as a learning lesson, they will flourish and be brighter and smarter than before. They also have to let go of their pain by actually talking about it, writing it down, and speaking up about it the moment it happens and not just allowing it to fester inside. So if they need to get answers and whatnot, they need to do so in a matter that's, you know, I won't say fully correct because there's no such thing as someone being fully correct, but unless you deal with like logic. The King, good to see you. Welcome to my realm. So that's just pretty much all I want to say. Jacob Taylor, how you doing? Good to see you. So without further ado, let's move on to toxic trait number 4. They don't know how to ask for help, so they just go quiet and disappear. As I stated before, that if this toxic trait right here about them being guarded isn't taken care of, then you deal with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They all work together. Raptor 1, welcome to my realm. So, real quickly, let me just drink some water because it is incredibly hot. And this may be actually one of the shortest. Jordan, how you doing? Welcome to my realm. So this may be one of the shortest of the my streams that I do because everything that I discussed yesterday with this toxic trait coincides with this one. All right. I'm going to try to explain this the best I know how. We actually know how to ask for help. It's just that when we deal with a lot with people betraying our trust, that's what causes us to not want to do it again. So, like for instance, I'm going to use a good example: customer service. So, let's just say Zuda, welcome to my realm. So let's just say, I don't know, you contact customer service. It could be for anything. You could think of anything. It could be for a clock, a video game, whatever. I Harderin, welcome to my realm. So you contact customer service and you state your problem, you tell them what's going on, and then all of a sudden, you're promised, oh, we'll make sure to give you a full refund and yada yada yada. So you wait 20 minutes, use your manager polite, have a nice conversation with this customer service representative. Or maybe in some people's cases, you don't have a nice, conversation. They just are quiet on the phone. They just want to take care of you so that way they can get you off the phone because they don't like their job. So everything's working well, and then all of a sudden you get hit with, unfortunately, due to the fact of blah 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 blah, we can only give you a partial refund instead of a full refund. The first time this happens, right, you deal with a little money loss. Virgo be like, okay, that's on me. But let's add on to this scenario. Let's just say that Virgo had plans. Like they needed that money back so they could get their mother or father something, or their girlfriend or boyfriend. And then that plan backfires. So already a guard's up. So when they think of that company name, or they hear someone talk about that company, they will be on the defense and say, "Oh, don't support them because they're all like that." But that's just how it starts. Here's another scenario. Um, they deal with a college professor, and they done everything they could. They studied, they worked hard. You know, they done all niners. They made sure they've eaten, hopefully, and then they ask the professor finally for help. They say, "Look, I've done everything. I'm getting B's, but I want to know how can I get an A." The professor just looks and was like, oh, well, you should know because blah, 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 blah. You should have read the textbook. You should have done this. A Virgo is going to remember that. And they're going to deal with it. They're going to shut down. They're going to deal with it. They're going to get all the information. But in the back of their mind, they're going to say, never again. Aiden Batista, welcome to my realm. So when a Virgo deals with those type of situations, that's just how they feel. They're gonna be like, well, wait a minute. You once again just violate my trust. Because I asked for help. You literally stood there in front of everyone in the class saying that if we need help, ask. And then you're telling me to go back and read the chapter when I specifically asked you for help. And here's another scenario. Here's one more scenario. Okay. Are you starting to understand this about Virgos? I think y'all are starting to get it. And again, if you're a little lost, check out my YouTube channel at Why of Will, where I pretty much go over, toxic traits number 1, 2, and 3 in full detail. Splinter, it's good to see you again. Welcome to my realm. Let's just think of an easy top. Let's just think of something easy like, I don't know, art or just anything. So Virgo, they try. They do their research. They read books and everything. Jack, welcome to my realm. And then all of a sudden, they go to their one friend that they trust. They send them a message on Discord. Hey, I really need some help. Can you schedule a time? Can we schedule a time so you can pretty much just watch how I draw, so that way you can pinpoint any mistakes. Oh yeah, sure, man, sure, I could do that for you. And then they give the Virgo exact date and time. Please don't do that. Do not give them an exact date and time because they will hold you to it. Just simply give a time frame. I'm available between this day and this day. I'm available between this time and this time. But I can definitely be available around this time and this time. Zook, welcome to my realm. When you do this, right, you are giving that Virgo time to think and to fully realize that, hey, things can change. But when you give a set date and a set time, they expect you to be there at the exact date and time. Daniel G, welcome to my realm. They're a little lenient. Like, if you're 5 minutes late, that's fine. Jordan, welcome back to my realm. And if you're a little late, that's fine. If, that's cool. But if you're you just fully cancel on them, yikes. And just like what I stated yesterday, Jordan, welcome back to my realm. Just like I stated yesterday, if it happens one time, that's not the problem. If it happens multiple times, that's the problem. And then that's when it's held against you. And then that's when they start to become guarded. So you can imagine, right? So the reason why Virgos don't ask for help is for the following reasons. Number one, they dealt with disappointment more than any other person in the world. So much disappointment to the point where they don't know who to trust. So they start forming up plans themselves. That's why they have backup plans. Like the moment they deal with that first disappointment or that first hint of trauma or anything that you could think of, that's where they get into that shell and they start thinking. They're like, let me pull up my equations. Let me do this. Let me pull up my facts and statistics backed up with actual facts, statistics from others, and of course, the trusted sources. They'll use all of that to justify what they do. Even if it's quote unquote questionable. Why'd you do it? They'll give you a whole story as to why they did it. You know how in Naruto or certain animes, they give you a whole backstory? That's what they'll do. They'll give you the whole backstory. But depending on if you listen or not, they'll either shorten it or they'll tell you everything. If they trust you, they'll tell you everything. If they don't, they'll shorten it. If they trust you somewhat, they'll only tell you a little bit, but not so much because they know your mannerisms. So it's a trust thing. So their trust is violated. They've been disappointed multiple times. It could be trauma, where they dealt with trauma or been hurt by people or bullied to the point where they ask for help. Like, help, I'm getting beat up. And someone laughs at them. So then they go to the extreme and say, oh, okay, well, I need to know martial arts. I need to know this. I need to do that. So that way I don't have to ever worry about asking for help. So it's usually based off of their past experiences and what they dealt with or the first time that happened. And they will remember this. Virgos remember everything, okay? So even the ones with memory issues, they will remember certain parts of what you did. So if you forget their birthday after you promised them multiple times you got them for their birthday, they will remember that. They'll forgive you, but if you do it 2 more times, you're kind of done. If you tell them, I'll never leave you, no matter what we go through, you won't ever have to worry about me abandoning you. I will make sure to let you know when you go too far. And then they go too far, and then you abandon them, you destroyed their trust because you said you would never leave me, but you did because you became unforgiving towards me even after I apologized. You see what I mean? That's when the Virgo starts to become guarded. So then it goes back to this toxic trait. See how these two coincide one another? They go hand in hand. So if you destroy their trust, if they deal with trauma, if they've been bullied, if anything that's caused some insurmountable, my apologies, that's anything that causes some certain level of damage to them will cause them to, Kuma 47, welcome to my realm, it will cause them to go back to this. So it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if this is not taken care of, then all the other toxic traits overrun each other. And depending on the severity of how much they've been disappointed, hurt, beaten, abused, traumatized, they will go into this realm of being so independent that they don't ever want anyone to ask them. So this is where the whole thing of when someone tries to help them, when they get on the offense, that's where it comes from. They don't want to do it. Jackie, welcome to my realm. They don't want to do it, but it's that one time where their trust is violated and they're just like, eh. So for instance, if they need help with streaming, they need help with anything. Alex, Miranda, welcome to my realm. Just anything. If they see your name and they know that if they have like a experience, or you like feel like you're trying to tell them what to do, they'll put their guard up and say, well, maybe next time. But if it's someone that they trust to know that they will help them and guide them, they'll, hey, come on in, man, I got you. Come on in, please tell me. That's why you'll see certain Virgos hang out with certain people. It's not that, oh, they're so nice stuff. It's that their trust wasn't violated. It has nothing to do with, oh, they were too nice, or oh, no, it was just trust was violated. And Virgos, they go to the meme of, and I took that personally. They don't mean to, it's just their nature. And that's what causes them to take things to the extreme, to plan things themselves. And if you don't communicate with them, if you don't try to make things right, they will be in that deep realm of trying to do it themselves. They'll go into panic mode at first, but then afterwards they'll be so confident in their plan that they feel like that this is the only plan that works, on top of the fact that it can be revised as long as logic is applied to it. So Virgos do know how to ask for help. It's just that's why they don't, because it's that first, that second, that third time, and it's pretty much connected to any and every person. So here's a good one. If you ban a Virgo and you give them no reason or any way to like apologize or to make it up, that person will forgive you, but they will look at you as an enemy in their eyes. Like if you ever come to them, if you try to talk to them, they're gonna look at you and be like, no. So if a friend recommends that person that did that to them for help, they will literally give you 10 plus reasons to why they don't trust them, or why they feel like they're a bad person. You see what I mean? It's like you got to be careful. Now, some may say, oh, well, that's the fault of Virgo to take it so personally. No, I mean, when you really think about it, it makes sense. If you violate their trust, then that's just what happens. And again, Virgos are very forgiving. If you do it over and over and over again, that's when they're like, yeah, screw you. But if you do it one time or two times, it's whatever. So let's just say, here's another example. They trust you with a friend. And you do something to their friend that you find inappropriate. They won't say anything. They'll just look at you. And they are waiting for you to own up, to know that what you did was wrong. They're not going to tell you because they don't want to be a bother. They want you to be a responsible adult, or at least be responsible for your actions. If you're not responsible for your actions, then they just look at it like, wow, you're immature. Why should I even bother? So then they go into this guard of, well, you violated my trust the first time. Why should I trust you the second? Why should I trust you the second time or the third time? I mean, I'll do it, but if you violate it again, I get in trouble. I'm not going to trust you again. I will, but it will take a while. Does it make sense now? I hope it does. This can happen with family members, friends, acquaintances, spouses, girlfriend, boyfriend. Doesn't matter who you are. You violate a Virgo's trust too many times, you make big promises to them, and you don't fulfill it, you're done. They'll love you, but they're going to look at you and say, I can't trust you. So I hope you're okay, to them, it's a mockery. You're mocking them. They'll look for someone else to say that, and they'll understand it. Okay, that was a lot. So let's break down as to what we can do to prevent this from happening. So Virgos can, quote unquote, get a grip of reality and not feel like that every person that does this to them does it with the intent to hurt. Let me drink my water again. This is going to be a doozy, so bear with me. Virgos, listen to me when I say this. And it's just the people in general that choose to listen. You're right to feel the way you feel. You hear me? Oh, if I was going to say, oh, you're overreacting. No, I get it. I personally would be very disappointed and upset too if someone did that to me. Where you meet someone, they promise you things and they promise you that they won't hurt you, and then they do it. But here's the thing. Here's step number one. And no, Dr. Voitless will not be in this episode either. Don't let them in your heart. So step number one is don't let them in your heart. Jeremy, good to see you. Welcome to my time zone. So Virgos, if you don't want to feel guarded, just don't let them in your heart. Just give them arm's length. Let them earn that trust first. Give them a little small task to do. Hey, it's their birthday. Let me give them a $5 gift card, a $10 gift card. If they say thank you and they do something nice for you, extend it a little bit. Okay, 15. Okay, I got a little extra money, 20. Okay, now I can gift them something big. That's how you do it. Don't let them in your heart. Number two, do not give them all your heart. Give them a piece of it, just a little piece. Here you go. Here's a little bit of me that you know. The less they know about you, the better. It's how you get your respect. So don't let them fully into your heart. Give them pieces of you. Piece, 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 until you feel they've earned your trust. Number three, understand that every person that you ask for help is not going to have all the answers that you want. Do not expect a person to give you a long list of examples. Do your research and whatnot first. Time yourself so you don't overwhelm yourself. Tell people in summary what you did, not a full 2, 3, just summary or bullet points, and then state, after doing all this, I've come to the conclusion that I do need help. And then tell them, comment his daughter, welcome to my realm, and then just speak up. This is what I need help with. Don't say the whole thing. Say what part of it that you need help with. And then write your questions down of what is it that you need. Don't write a bunch of questions. Just write down maybe one or two big questions. Because when you do that, you respect their time and you're respecting yours. And then what you do is after you write those questions, right? Like write a long list of questions, right? Rins, welcome to my realm. So after you write those long list of questions, right? Spread them apart to different people. Okay, I asked these two questions to this person. Now let me ask these two questions to this person, this person. You get more knowledge and you have a better understanding. That's going to help you a lot. Not one person can help you. So if one person fails you, don't give up. Keep asking for help. Do not hold it against them. That person could be having a bad day. Maybe someone died in their family. Maybe they dealt with it, something in their past or their trauma, and it just triggered them to the point where they just don't know who to trust. So don't personalize it thinking they're just attacking you. The way how they act towards you is usually the fact that they are thinking about someone else. Unknown 57, welcome to my realm. So, Virgo, if you ask for help with something, they are rude to you. Stand your ground, be firm, and just say, hey, my apologies. I was just asking for help for this one thing. Hope you have a better day. And, change the tone of your voice. Hey, I get that you're going through something, but I really need help. But you know what? I understand. Hope things get better for you. Have a good day. Walk away. Go to someone else. So when someone's being rude to you, just change your tone, but not in a disrespectful tone, but just in a way like this, so they understand that what you did was uncalled for. You only just wanted help with one thing. That way they understand, I was being rude. Your tone is power, okay? It goes from this to this. There's a huge difference in your tone. Understand that you're not going to always be able to tell a person how something makes you feel. Buster Noah, welcome to my realm. So in that situation, you just got to let it go. Don't always rely on the same people to help you. Sometimes you have to go to different people. That's life. You're supposed to go to different people, get to know different people, understand, where they come from, their customs, their motives, and everything. So that way it makes more sense. And lastly, don't go quiet. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself, okay, it's okay. There's 8 billion people in the world. There's someone out there that can help me. Lethal Crimson, welcome to my realm. Yo. So understand that, Virgos. Understand that just because someone failed you, right, doesn't mean that you just don't ever ask help for, you don't ever ask for help again. You just keep asking for help. Talk to someone that you trust and show them how you presented asking for help, and they'll let you know, hey man, try this method instead to see if it works. Don't question it, just do it. Of course, if your gut's telling you that it's incorrect and someone tells you it's incorrect, then yeah. But you understand? So asking for help is good. Just don't expect the perfect answer, Virgos. If you don't get the perfect answer, that's okay. That's where you come in and do your research. Find someone else. If your professor can help you, go to a tutor. Your tutor can't help you, then find another tutor. And that tutor can't help you, then find another tutor. Just don't give up. A lot of people deal with rejection all the time. It happens. So the fear of rejection, the fear of the fact that you feel like the person's not going to be able to help you is irrational. It's irrational because you're missing out on meeting different people because of the fact that you're focused on what that one person did. And this is with customer service too. Okay, so let's just say Xbox gave you the worst customer service ever. Okay, that was that one person. That one person does not represent Xbox customer service. If you like Xbox, despite all the controversy, and you're still willing to, like some parts of them, then don't let that one person or whatnot stop you from liking Xbox. It's just like, let's just say with the furry fandom. If you deal with one bad furry, maybe 6 bad furries, streamers or whatever, and you still like it, right? Not just furries. Let's just say anime. Let's just say art, whatever group. Don't let that experience you had with that person stop you from enjoying yourself and asking for help, right? You know, and it's tough, all right? It's really tough because you want to see the good in everyone. And that's good, but you also got to see the evil in everyone too. You got to understand that everyone's on neutral standing. You have to look at everyone neutral standing, so you have a better understanding of how that individual is. And if you don't, then you're the one that's always going to be hurt all the time. Just don't give up. Even if you're hurt, don't give up. If you really want to fulfill a dream or you want to get whatever it is that you need done, you just got to keep looking for people. Keep showing that confidence. You know? Otherwise, you're going to miss out on your dreams, your hopes, and whatever it is that you want to do in this life. Just keep asking for help. Don't take offense to it. Don't, play the blame game. Don't say, oh, this person did this. Remember, and I said this before, my whole character transformation. There are billions of assholes in this world, but there's billions of good people. That means there is still a chance that you can find a good person. You just can't give up. You take what that person did to you that was negative as a lesson. Forgive and move on. Be firm, of course. If you have the chance to let them know, hey, what you did was wrong, whatnot, you do it correctly, then good. But then afterwards, you have to let it go. Don't expect an apology. Don't expect them to, if they don't apologize, especially if they're wrong, that's just immaturity. Let them be immature. They'll figure it out. You have to be the mature one. Forgive yourself so that way you can have a better night. Okay? So, asking for help is tough. I get it. Especially if you're shy. That's why you have to write it down. You have to ask for someone to guide you on how to ask for help. And also understand this, that it's vice versa too. So if someone asks you for help, so you don't go quiet and disappear because, you felt like you let them down. You give one piece of information. You ask for clarification. Would you like for me to continue or provide you more? If they say provide me more, provide them more. If they say no thank you, you respect that. And direct them back to their friends. And then you keep it moving. You will save yourself from being hurt and your sanity. Give it back to them. They came to you for help, but yet they want to act like your help means nothing because you didn't give them the answer that they wanted to hear. Reverse it back on them and give it back to their friends. I had to do this multiple times because I used to be the one that's like, oh, I gotta help. I gotta be like Deku. I gotta be like Spider-Man. No. Assist a little. Give a piece of information. And yeah, keep moving forward. Like that's right, Jeremy. And you just have to let them learn. They came to you, but they want to act like you're doing them a favor. And when you deal with people like that, Virgos, walk on. Just walk on. One piece of information, one hint. Let them figure it out themselves. If they truly, truly care about you and they want to try again, they will come to you and they will listen. And they'll be like, you know what? You may not know everything, but you know something. There's something that you can do and that can help me. So please help me. They will literally beg you for help. When the world is done kicking their butt, they will come to you for help. So don't let your past experiences stop you from not wanting to ask for help or not wanting to trust. It's just like with anything. All right. And I'm guilty of this. I remember I had a bad experience, in certain VR groups. So am I supposed to let that stop me from enjoying certain things that I like? Or am I going to reach out and not worry about the consequence? Because the consequence is there to teach me. If it punishes me, then yeah, it means I did something wrong, but it's to teach me overall. So if you're dealing with issues with a group or at your job, reach out. Even if it sounds silly. Even if that person is rude to you, says they don't want to help you. Keep reaching out. When I dealt with being subpoenaed in court last year, I had to reach out to 4 different supervisors, higher ups, until I finally got the answer that I was looking for. And I had to do some research myself. And guess what? Problem solved. I didn't give up. I didn't get frustrated. I just kept going. Easier said than done. I know. We learn from the past mistakes. That's right. It's just, hear me when I say this. Virgos, you want help. I know you do. I know I need help. So allow yourself to be helped. The reason why you're on guard, and the reason why even when someone's trying to help you, you take it as an offense, is because you're still holding on to what that other person did to you. Yes, you are. That's why you take offense. You need to look at that person and know that that is not the same person. They may sound like that same person, but they're not them. That's not them. So don't compare them to them. Don't take them there. When someone's trying to help you, don't compare. See them for who they are, as someone that's trying to help, especially if it's your family member. Now, if it's gotten bad to the point where that person has psychologically gotten in your head, seek help. And they will guide you and help you on how to not feel that way. Or it could be something else where you need medication. Who knows? Seek help. Don't be afraid of, oh, I may be on the spectrum, or blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You want the help, right? You want to move forward, right? You want to heal, right? Ask for the help. If you're someone that's suffering from an addiction, ask for help. Don't be embarrassed. Welcome back, Cammy. Welcome back to my realm. Don't be embarrassed to just reach out and say, hey, I have a question about what this one person did to me. I'm not trying to start nothing, but I just need to know the truth. A real friend will listen to you and hear you out and won't tell your business. I've had folks tell me all the time about certain people that they don't like, and I always kept it between just the two of us. Because they're reaching out for help, they trust me, so I will not violate their trust. And I expect the same from them. And Virgos, this comes from people that are not Virgos. So, do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I hope you do. I really hope you do. Taking offense destroys your growth. Taking offense hinders you from meeting new friends and acquaintances. I've dealt with many examples where I try to ask for help and I dealt with very much rude people. And then when I went back to those same rude people, turns out they matured, some even apologized, and I ended up being a friend. Some people you just have to let life teach them. It is not for you to teach them because you're not fully equipped to do it. You got to let life teach them. You got to let the other person teach them. You got to let that bully beat up that kid that don't want your help. You got to let that one person have a stomach ache from that restaurant they're trying to warn them about so they understand the lesson. You got to let them, if they're, let's say they're a backyard wrestler, they want to be like Jeff Hardy, do a swanton bomb, and they end up breaking their collarbone and surviving afterwards. You got to let them learn that lesson. So that's the final thing I want to say. You got to let them learn their lesson. They'll let you learn the lesson. They'll beat you down and let you feel like that you're nothing. Well, you got to kind of do the same thing. You're not being rude. You're just letting them see that all you're trying to do is help. I look back at a lot of people that I try to help and they got so mad, offended at me. But now they look back and they say, oh, he was just trying to help. He was just trying to help. Well, that's just the way how it goes, you know. Sometimes people just they don't want your help, and you have to respect that. If they say they don't want your help, don't help them. Sometimes we force ourselves to want to help people that don't want our help. It's obvious that they're struggling. It's obvious that they can't lift that boulder themselves, but they will still try to prove a point, say, "Oh, I got it," and they end up hurting themselves. Just remember, if you was as hard-headed as them, even though we are hard-headed and we try our best not to be, we're all hard-headed, honestly, then people will not want to help you. You got until the age of 100 if you take care of yourself. Why not let someone help you? Why not have new experiences? Why try to form a plan by yourself when you can form a plan with others? Every project that you see, and everything that you hold in your hand, whether it be a gadget, a glass cup, those headphones, it was a team effort. They asked for help. The inventor of the keyboard, the inventor of the light bulb, the inventor of exercise machines, the inventor of computers. It is a team effort. No one person came up with it themselves. Even those who came up with quotes, life had to teach them. People had to teach them. These geniuses, they received help. They received guidance. Someone had to raise them. Someone had to teach them to fulfill their potential. Everyone serves a purpose, but the purpose requires timing. And Virgos, if you figure that out, one day in your life, you will never be hurt by another person again. You'll never feel like you have to disappear. You will laugh when people don't want your help. You will take it as a learning lesson and move on to someone else. The people who shut you out of their life and don't want to hang with you anymore, that's just the heavens gracing you and telling you, go talk to these people. Happens all the time. You meet some folks, if they're for you, they'll reach out to you. They'll come to you. They'll want to hang with you. They'll want to chat with you. They'll want to know more about you. And the rest, they'll just treat you like you're an option. And that's fine. That's their choice. Doesn't mean they don't like you. They don't love you. It's just they already made their decision. But the others, they'll want your help. They'll want to hear what you have to say. They'll check in on you every now and then. Not every day. That's not possible. You know what I'm saying? So Virgos, don't you feel better now? You feel Lethal Crimson, welcome to my realm. Feel a lot better now? You have like a better understanding of how to do this? Scenario, okay. It's quiz time. You see a little girl about to cross the street. Their mom is pretty much on their phone. And a car is coming at them really fast. And you are, like arm lengths away of saving their life. What would you do? A, risk your life. B, just let it happen. C, call 911. D, mind your business. This is a tough one. The answer is either or is fine. But just know that based on whatever decision you make, there's a consequence. So let's just say you say the little girl. Oh, you're on the news and everything. And then 5 years later, that little girl who now turns 10 lied and said that you touched her inappropriately. But you saved her life, right? You saved her. Yeah, you did. And you suffered the consequence of the fact that that person that you saved had a low down parent that wants to take you down now, wants to sue you for court. So now you're in that situation where you have to seek therapy, and now you're like, oh, I'm never going to help anyone again. No. You learn from it. You just learn that some things you just got to let go. It's unfortunate. Life is unfortunate. It's beautiful, but it's unfortunate. Sometimes you have to see things just happen right before your eyes. And it may feel like, oh, you're just this evil person, right? You're just so evil. How dare you let that happen? Nah, some things people bring to themselves. If you can do something about it, do it. But if you can't, let it be. Ask for help. So you want to know what the right answer would have been? The correct answer is mind your business. Because here's how the scenario ends. Car suddenly stops. The mother curses out that person, and that person ends up getting sued. You just saved yourself a lawsuit. Because it turns out that that little girl was sexually abused, and she was trying to run away from her mother. Run away from the abusive, you know, household. She, the little girl, thanks you, but she was threatened by the mother to lie on you so they could have money, right, to pay off bills. Nothing personal. It's just life. It's just a game of life. Oh, there was probably a bunch of hoodlums from the hood. No, these are well-established folks. Nice house and everything, but they just got hit with hard times. Yeah. Is everyone like that? No. But your gut will tell you. If you pay attention and you don't try to always plan for everything, life works itself out. It's when you try to be the hero sometimes where it just falls apart. That's why when people do what they do to me, I forgive and move on. If I can say what I got to say to them, I will, but I don't hold it against them. I just move on because I don't know where they were mentally. I don't know what they're thinking about. But I can't let that stop me from asking for help. I can't let that stop me from trying my best to being a better person. You get what I'm saying? But if you want to be that hero, be that hero. If you get hurt, it's on you. It will be on you. If you want to be that hero. And then the question will be, why? What did you prove, actually? What did you prove trying to be that hero? Exactly. You got to be very careful who you help. You got to be very careful. And Virgos, if you understand this, I assure you and promise you, life will be so much easier. And I know you're going to have moments where you feel like, oh, you're a bad person. Oh, you're terrible. I should have. I should have. How about you shouldn't? How about if you didn't do any, if you did do something, you're not teaching them? You gotta let people learn and see what they have. They gotta see and know that you're a good person. And if they too dumb and stupid to see that, then that's on them. You gotta let people see your worth. They can't see your worth if you're constantly getting in their way. You don't know what type of dark situation they're dealing with. And you're trying to be this hero. You're trying to help them. All you're going to do is make things worse. You want to help people. Sometimes you just can't. The right people are going to be so happy to see you, they'll give you a hug. The wrong people are going to look at you and say, What you want? Why you messaging me? Know the difference. Know the freaking difference. And it's hard. It's really hard to tell the difference. Because in your mind, oh, I'm just trying to be this good Samaritan. Yeah, you do all of that, and then you miss out on people that actually do care about you. Because you're so focused on trying to help this person and don't even care nothing about you. They just using you. Why am I saying all this? Well, Virgo, that's why you end up always hurt. That's why you end up always angry and mean and frustrated and tired. And then you say stuff like, hey, hey. If they don't want your help, man, just don't help them. And if you deal with someone that doesn't want your advice, then why bother? You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand about people. They're not awful, you know? They're not the worst things in the world. Like people have you believe. Everyone makes their decisions based on what benefits them. If they regret it, they regret it. Don't go back. But at the same time, if they understand you, then they will understand that you weren't trying to hurt them. But some people are just silly. They don't get that. Because when a person is so hurt on the inside, then they always think about, oh, what people did. And Virgos, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for folks acting like whatever. You're too precious for that. You're too sweet for that. You're too much of a good person for that. You are loved. You are cared for. You don't need to deal with people constantly beating you down because you made a mistake. Oh, you didn't check in on them as much. It's not your responsibility. You got to focus on the fact that you got a life too. You can only do so much. You know what I mean? And if you make a mistake, like I did, live with it. Duh. Welcome to my realm. Life ain't about trying to hurt you, man. I don't know why people think, I messed up. Obviously, you know. No. Life is meant to teach you. It's not meant to destroy you. It's not meant to make you feel like you're this awful, terrible human being. You learn from it. You learn from it and you move on. You screw up, oh well, you move on. I can't tell you the many countless times I screwed up. Trying to help people. Trying to heal people, you know? Trying to give them advice. If you just allow yourself to understand that you are human and you're going to make mistakes. No, screw all that. If you tell yourself that people are just as flawed as you, if you can just say that to yourself, You'll be a lot happier with your life. Virgos, you always seek perfection. There is no perfection. Where is this perfection that you seek? Where is it? Uh, Sometimes you just got to understand that you screwed up, and that's okay. Maybe you didn't ask properly. And then they need to learn also. Yeah. You know, sometimes you got to look at life and just be like, I'm allowed to make mistakes, but I also have to suffer the consequences of my mistakes. So you can calculate all you want, Virgos, but the truth of the matter is there's always going to be a flaw. There's a flaw with glass. When you drop it, it breaks. Here's a flaw with technology. You pour water on it, doesn't matter if it's waterproof, it'll eventually short circuit. When you constantly scratch at your skin, you cause yourself to bleed. When you slam something down, you break it. Everything has a flaw. When you drop a smartphone face first without a screen protector, it cracks. When the human arm is bent to a certain extent, like what, Bijutsu, whatnot, it will eventually break. There's flaws everywhere. Heck, even my headset charger has a flaw. The cord's bent. Sometimes when I stream, I lag. The same order that you give, your pet, sometimes they don't listen. There are flaws and errors everywhere. When you leave bread sitting out for so long, it starts to mold. Kira, welcome to my realm. Do you understand this, Virgos? Everybody asks for help. Well, how is it that certain people are able to succeed faster than us? That's just because they played the game. They're not doing it because of legitimacy. Kiro, welcome to my realm. They're not doing it to try to teach. They're doing it because they want money. The name of the game is money. So when you see folks do things to get all these views, they're doing it not for the purpose that you think. It's not for righteousness. Righteousness doesn't help you make money. It's sometimes being the exact opposite that does. It's been proven time and time again. You know what they say, that being a hero doesn't pay? That's a fact. It doesn't pay. Spectral Ghost, welcome to my realm. It doesn't pay. And that's illogical to a Virgo. That's why anti-heroes start to exist. It's like, shoot, I want to be a hero, provide justice and get paid. Heroes are like, well, we can work for free. It's fine. We'll just work jobs like everybody else. And then you got the villain that's like, screw all that. Society's too messed up. So Virgos, let me ask you this question. Do you think that there will be a lot less flaws in this life if people ask for help? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yes, 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 no. Because if you ask the wrong people for help, there will be even more flaws. But you learn from those flaws. You learn from them. So, with you ask for help, tell yourself the advice that you are given will be somewhat flawed. And it's not going to have all the answers you want. Now, if it's logic, like based off math, it's A and B. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 5. Hold on. My apologies. 3 times 2 is 6. See, I just made a flaw. I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. I know 3 times 2 is 6. Just like I know 4 times 2 is 8. I did that on purpose. Just so I can say, I'm going to clip that. That's a flaw. See, I made a flaw. I know 3 times 2 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. See what I mean? I did that on purpose. So you understand. Flaw. And that's okay. See, if we're like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, don't say. Laugh. It's okay. You made a flaw. Who cares? I know you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I don't think people just care about what I say. If you want all the fame in the world, if you want to do what everyone else is doing, then you better learn how to be a cutthroat. You better learn to break some bones. You better learn to compete with others. And if you try to do it the right way, you best believe you're going to deal with folks that are going to come after you and show you their way to do it so you could be even more successful. The road to success equals sacrifice. It means you're going to have to cut a lot of people off, which means you're going to be so popular, but your true friends are going to end up, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them over time because if you don't get yourself right, digital, welcome to my realm. That's just pretty much how it's going to roll. That's how life works. That's why the villains always win, because they know how to play the game. The heroes always win in the end, but that's why it seems like the villains always win. The people that are unjust always wins because they know how to play the game. They know how it works. Virgos, they're too busy trying to overanalyze everything, and that's why they mess up. But the thing is, what's with all that success and whatnot? What are you going to do with it once your time's up? Oh, I could just pass it on to my son. So you can pass it on to your son and your daughter so they can do the same thing. Pass on that same bad karma, which if they're not careful how to deal with it, that can cause them an inevitable death. So you got to understand that there's going to be a flaw regardless what you do. When you read graphic novels, right? You look at the pages and you see certain characters and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm going to root for that character. You can't root for that character because that character turns out that they're just as crooked and jacked up as that person. But but their morals, their mannerisms, they make a little bit more sense. Yeah, but it's still technically wrong. Yeah, they may steal from the rich and give to the poor, but it's still wrong. Just like that person, they just steal from everybody because, stealing is stealing. But you may look at it and be like, oh, well, it's kind of justified, but it's not. You see what I mean? Flaws. Well, what I'm trying to say here is people think that the world would be a better place if we ask for help. Yes and no. Know that there's going to be a flaw. If you understand that anything and everything that you do is going to have some level of imperfection, and you don't freak out about it, you don't always have to rant about it, you're going to be just fine. To all of those that like to, do the Zaza, there's a flaw there. Sometimes you may get, a little edible and you're feeling fine. You may get that next edible and all of a sudden, all of a sudden your heart just beating a lot faster than usual. An error was made. Someone didn't know what they were doing. It happens. Like 30, 70% chance of that happening? I just gotta keep it real with people, And the thing is, real sometimes is not recognized. Thank you so much for the rose, Digital. Real is recognized in pieces, not in full, because when you try to tell people in full, they don't get it, they're not seasoned. So that's why you have to give in pieces. But then they want to call certain people that like to sell their knowledge for money, call them evil. How is it evil when you won't even listen to them if, they provide you that information for free? Oh, no, I would. No, you wouldn't. If they gave you a whole tutorial on how to pass all your classes in college for free, you would not take the time to sit and watch all of those videos. You would talk about how long it is, how boring it is. Versus if you had to pay for it, then you feel like, oh, I got some sense of accomplishment. This is how they get over on people because they take advantage of that. Virgos, we try to be the hero and we try to help people see that. But the thing is, we disrupt the process of them growing because we're always trying to expose what the enemy is doing. When unfortunately, we got to let them see it. Tech Rack, welcome to my realm. Good to see you again. If this is confusing, well, that's fine. Life is somewhat confusing. It's a little messed up. But over time, it does make sense. It only makes sense if we follow our roles. And as we follow our roles, it makes a little bit more sense. Now, your heart will tell you at times, there's that rare moment. Help this person out. Go through it. It's worth it. And there are chances where it is worth it. But you get that realization, unfortunately, when you hear like a lot what the villains say in those quotes, and they have a point. Because I'll say this multiple times, villains were once heroes. Heroes were once villains. But they were taught and trained to not be that way. Sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes it's heroes always wanted to be villains because they were pushed to the edge many times. And villains want to be heroes, but they don't know how to be because of their backstory. So society, because they know this is difficult for people, they equate it to good, evil. And they make money off of this. Oh, if you do this, you're good. But if you do this, you're bad. But in reality, both sides are flawed. They have their problems. That's why you have to balance them out. I'm not saying the answer is always be balanced. I'm saying the answer is allow yourself to be taught by people that are willing to help you. Take care, Tech Rack. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in conclusion, because I know this is a lot. I know this is a lot. Virgos, understand that when you ask for help, it's not going to be perfect. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not going to be perfect. I know this hurts. I know this makes you upset. I know that you want to have the answers from all the answers from NASA and history and math, but you can't. You can't. When it comes to life, you have to tell yourself you have to miss out sometimes in order to fulfill certain parts of your life. There's a lot of events and a lot of moments that happen this day and age, and you're going to miss it. That one TV show, that one true love's kiss, that one moment to meet someone that you've always wanted to meet for years. It's just how life works. It's not great. Sometimes it sucks. But you have to allow yourself to make the best choices for you because no one really knows. Even the geniuses of the world don't even know. They only know what they have studied for years, their innate ability. But they don't know everything. And if you put them all together in one group to try to solve the world's problems, they'll be there forever until they die. Because you can't solve everyone's problems. You gotta let people go through. You gotta let people feel the fire. Just like they let you feel the fire. And you have to understand that you have to constantly keep asking for help every single day. Every day you're learning. Every day you're trying to better yourself. So if you want to go through that reinvention process, you have to allow yourself to feel the sense of imperfection. And there you go. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to make all the mistakes you can. As an elder once said, make all the mistakes you want when you're a kid. Just make sure they're not too drastic, because once you're an adult, that's when you get judged harshly. That's true. One second. So, any questions? Unless you all decide to depart because I was too real for y'all. So, Virgos, I think you know what you need to do. You're going to ask for help. Doesn't matter what type of answers you get. And you're going to keep asking for help no matter what you deal with. So that way, you will be fulfilled. So ask for help. Don't be scared. Even if you don't get the answers that you want. Life is full of unlimited knowledge. You will get those answers. For the next stream, we're going to talk about having zero patience. Because again, this goes side by side. You asked for someone for help and they gave you the silliest answer ever. And now, you not only don't trust them, but now you see them as a fool. I'm going to teach you how to embrace ignorance and stupidity next time. This is your naturally born hated Virgo speaking. And I am going to take a nap.